don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
Hey, this is Jason Rouse, and welcome to the Safe Word Pod. I always screw this part up. The Jason Rouse's Safe Word Podcast. My guest today is Sam Walker. Do you have like a middle name that people would know? Or if you don't, what name would you pick as a Sam blah Walker?
Samuel C. Walker.
Samuel C. Walker.
Yeah.
I like it. It's very, very like Fall Guy, or it's like I don't know. There's some sort of motor stunts involved in that guy's life.
Yeah, a little bit of Airwolf. Get to take to the air.
Airwolf. That guy turned out to be a
Jan
huge
Michael
alcoholic,
Vincent.
right?
Jan Michael Vincent.
Oh, is that Jan Michael Vincent?
Yeah.
Oh, because South Park make fun of him, right?
Do they?
I think so. Or Family Guy. Everybody's
probably.
Jan Michael Vincent. I didn't know that was him. But
Yeah,
that show was cool.
It
Airwolf
was great.
cool.
Oh, yeah. It was one of the...
That
one of the greats.
helicopter, you'd watch 21 minutes of some of the worst dialogue and action, and that 30, 60 seconds of a helicopter shootout is like, oh, it's going to fly upside down, this one? Oh, no, he can't.
The theme music as well was Beyond Reproach. And
That's a band? Beyond Reproach?
Beyond Reproach. It was as good as it gets. It was A-team caliber for iconic 80s.
Yeah, and probably, I think, a number of years later, I think that was the last of these kind of like daytime, or not daytime, but shit you'd see around dinner time that the whole family would watch together. And Airwolf,
Yeah.
the A-Team, you know, and
A-Team.
even though they were kind of like the Dukes of Hazzard was probably, I guess, one of the more biggest.
Dukes
right?
of Hazzard, one of my
How come when I said Dukes of
all-time
Hazzard,
favorites.
you did a double mustache sweep? You're like, let me handle this. I got the Dukes of Hazzard. What do you got on the Duke boys? Do you know about this? The other when they recast?
Coy and Vance?
Jeez,
Bullshit
I was horrified.
season. Bullshit season.
Horrified.
Yeah, it was the worst. And also when they started using the toy car for the jumps and stuff like that, getting the car to go like
they
300
really?
feet. Yeah, you can see like the plastic Mattel on the bottom.
Oh yes,
It was disgusting.
I think thinking about that now was something, but as a child, you believe, man, these guys live 2 cities over, and they're just trying to make it work. And that Boss Hog character,
Just some good old boys. Just some good old boys.
not mean and no harm.
They've been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Yeah, I always enjoyed Boss Hog.
Yeah.
I always been a big fan of the villain my whole life. I always I like the Duke boys, don't get me wrong, but seeing Boss Hog's schemes get uprooted, I was always kind of cheering for him.
And you know, with every major villain, you get Cletus. The Hunchback of Notre Dame to Dracula, right? To Dr. Frankenstein. I'm sure you're a fan of Mel Brooks movies about Young Frankenstein.
Yep.
Do you like Mel Brooks stuff?
Mel Brooks' funniest movie of all time is still Blazing Saddles.
Oh, when my brother's 12 years younger than me, and I showed him that movie, and was this ever legal? You want to hear an interesting fun fact? You know what's the Peter Sellers movie, The Guest, or
The Party.
The Party? When that showed in India, they were rioting in the streets in anger.
Because of brown face.
Yeah, they had some
Yeah.
really bad tanning cream. But Blazing Saddles is on another level.
It really is. I remember I was in about it was grade 5, so probably my 15th birthday.
And fucking, from what I heard. Were you the guy who fucked at 15?
No.
38.
I got fucked at 15, but I wasn't fucking. No,
No, it's what happened?
11th birthday, we go to the video store, and Mom's starting to censor what I'm watching. They're paying attention to it, and me and my buddy are having a sleepover, because that's what 11-year-old boys do. And we're in the video store, and Dad goes, "What about Blazing Saddles?" And Mom goes, "You think it's appropriate for them?"
Yeah.
And Dad said, "Oh, yeah, for sure." And we took it downstairs and probably watched it over.
Fucked on top of the case. Showed him who's boss.
It was more like heavy petting. But we knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
And that fart, as an 11-year-old boy, that farting scene around the campfire with the beans.
Comedy magic, right?
I think you boys have had enough. And Slim Pickens, too. Like, I didn't even know who he was, but what in the wide, wide world of sports is going on? And still, I can still watch it to this day and see something new in the background with the
Easter eggs of the movie.
Never ending. And you cannot make that movie today, which is a sad state of affairs.
Yeah, isn't it? Right? That's why my brother, and he saw that maybe 20 years ago, and the movie was probably 79
70, no, it was 74, 76.
Really? That old?
Yeah. It was unheard of. Well,
yeah. What about Pink Flamingos? John Waters stuff.
You know what? I used to stay up late night watching Canadian television Showcase in the summers, and those kinds of movies would be on, very, very titillating, and you just try and stay up and watch them.
Yeah, and see if there was maybe a breast. The worst part is staying up to watch Benny Hill, and it would go by, because you had no really what episodes were wearing that had boobies or any kind of sexual over the top. So you'd watch hours of Benny Hill and want to kill yourself just to see some English girl's milk bag flip out.
Oh, man.
Hello, love, it's Barnacle Bill.
I have no idea how the kids of today are going to survive, because if I had access to the sheer amount of pornography that's at the end of the mouse,
wow,
I would be dehydrated in my basement. That was it.
Yeah, there's no. It's a floodgate. It's like Vegas with a platinum card.
Yeah,
you could go anywhere and everywhere.
No limit. You're getting comped.
You're
getting comped.
There's a lot of weird things that are maybe classed as pornography that I find kind of rude.
Well, example?
The shit eaters, man.
They're
just the worst.
Yeah, but it's also the best of the worst.
I know, but they're always poorly shot movies. They always look like they're rushed. Everybody looks really nervous on set. Is it illegal to film a scat?
No.
Not for me, it's not. I have my own government in my dungeon. Actually, I'm the government in my dungeon. Uncle Fuckfinger.
Oh, yeah.
So, you're from here?
Yeah. Born and raised, actually. There's not very many Calgarians that are born and raised. Most people are come from far and wide. Banging economy.
And you, what do you think of, like, banging Calgary chicks?
Woo, boy. I like to saddle up and have me some fun, that's for sure. Beautiful women.
Yeah, right?
Beautiful.
I haven't seen any,
beautiful,
but
smart women. They were at the show. They were in the shadows.
I know they hide around the outside, right? They come and see the monster, but no one wants to put their fucking fingers in the cage, you uppity cunts. And I got the cast of fucking Game of Thrones up front, and all the hot chicks are hiding in the back. You know, because you saw how many booths? I saw them.
Yeah, they were.
There's like 6 of them in.
It was it was like a horseshoe. I got to meet some of them.
Nice.
There was the mom was a bit of a gilf, and I came up to the table.
Is that one of those shit eaters? A gilf?
If she's worth her weight in gold, yeah. A grandmama that I'd like to fuck.
Grandmama?
A gilf. And
Really? Would you bang like an old lady?
yeah.
I can't handle the skin.
Yeah, the loose skin
What do you mean
can be a
a
problem.
lucid skin? It's barely there.
Transparent. I like.
I need to touch something that has hope.
Yeah.
70-year-old lady with her foot up on the urinal, letting out the greasiest pussy farts you've ever heard in your life.
Sophia Loren.
That guy? She's like 98 now. And after the estrogen dries up,
Yeah.
you got yourself a fleshlight that calls the cops.
Well, of course you're only gonna want to fuck her in the ass because that pussy just ain't gonna be tight enough.
Whoa! But do you think you invented ass fucking? Those old ladies.
No,
that
I
get fucked in the
most certainly
ass.
did not. The first
Just
two,
spit on you. Something just flew off my lip. I got a customer backing up.
I've had worse.
80?
80 to be. You know what though? I don't want to put anything past me because you never know
You're
what.
back. Well, you're just out of a divorce.
Long ago.
Yeah, somebody told me you shot your wife.
Shot her in the face. Back of the head. It was a Pee Wee Herman. One of my childhood comedy heroes as well, Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My friends just went and had lunch with him about 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't go, and I was very disappointed. Paul Rubens.
Paul Rubens, legendary. And in this day and age, he was one of the first guys sacrificed by the media for his extracurricular activities.
Masturbating in an adult porn theater.
He should have been kicked out if he wasn't.
Yeah. Because it'd be rude. Because then you're a pervert. Now you're looking. I'm
You're
trying to
making me
jack off.
uncomfortable, man.
Your elbow's banging mine, and you're leaning over my shoulder, sir. Yeah,
It was
And it's
probably
still-
politics.
but,
Politics.
Let's go down here. They.
Mugshot on the front of Entertainment Tonight
Yeah, with his long hair.
with his long hair and beard, long gone from his squeaky clean Pee Wee Herman days.
Yeah, but the way he was clearly in distraught, so they made it look like he was down on his luck.
Yeah.
and attacked him and destroyed him.
Fuck,
He's back now.
Yeah.
But Pee Wee Herman originally was more. He would when him and Phil Hartman were doing the live show. There was way more innuendos and sexual things, and
It was an adult kids show.
it was
right?
Yeah. But the sexual orientation of Pee Wee was a little bit of A, a little bit of B. So you never knew what was going on, and for him, I don't know. I just think that's so stupid.
Well, I remember on the school ground, it was the campaign. We're pulling for Pee Wee. That was the thing. The kids were talking
That was
about,
before
and it was
hashtag.
Oh man, it was. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like you're from a little bit older than me, but when I was growing up, it was guys like you that were our internet. It was big brothers and sisters is who set us straight when we couldn't find out what was truth and what was not. Not that we're any closer nowadays, but we at least think we are.
Now there's a lot more information.
Too much information, but
Right.
I remember if I wanted to be interested in something, I had to go through television, radio, magazines, newspapers.
And you never got to schedule anything. It would just kind of come into your lap.
You had to be there. You had to be there, yeah.
You had to show up for the landing.
And then if all those failed, then you go to the fucking library
Yeah.
and get put on a list for taking out the wrong book. Right? So there was always this soft censoring or hard censoring, but it was always that way. Like
You
we've
remember
never.
Blockbuster there was this thing where they were recutting their movies.
Yeah,
Hollywood movies, cutting all the sex and.
I thought
fun
that was
out of
that was happening in Utah.
I think it was all the Blockbusters because they were
Oh,
owned
really?
by Mormons.
Oh fuck that!
I think that's why gay people hate Chick-fil-A. because they're Mormon owned businesses that don't really support their beliefs. Preference?
Yeah, well, I just remember the Mormon girls when I was growing up in junior high, and they were women when we were boys. It was the best part was going to the
women when you were boys.
oh yeah, school dances, and they were hot to trot. The ultimate teases.
Yeah,
ultimate teases. They would show you a little something in gym class. And that was
what kind of something? Something
they'd be we'd be doing stretches, and she'd bend over. Yeah, and
show a little coffee filter at the back.
Because they can't wear tampons.
Just a knotted sock. Well, I had to, because I was such a poor student, I had to take a bus through the city through 3 Catholic school districts, and it was all the kilts. So I went from one end of the city to the other to go in all boys, all dude school. It was awful. So you get the smell of the Italian girls' hairspray and those matted, hairy beavers that would come around their asshole, all around the front like hot pants, and they would get all musky like a barn saddle.
Yeah.
And then I'd be blasted with all this estrogen, and then I was in Oz for the rest of the day.
Yep.
All guys.
How can you concentrate? How can you concentrate with those distractions?
Well, I didn't lose my virginity until I think after high school.
I lost mine on the last day of high school.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Were you like, if I don't do this, I'm done in life?
You know what? It totally just fell into my lap. It was right place at the right time.
Intended. What do you mean? She was handcuffed to something?
I was pretty vanilla. You know what? I didn't even come the first time.
What happened? Did you just shit on the floor and go, I'm sorry, I'm doing it wrong?
No, she had a shaved pussy, and I'd never seen one live before.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was
live.
It was a big deal. I'd seen it in Hustler. And
what year
Penthouse.
is this?
This is 98.
How old is she?
18.
It was a shaved pussy?
Shaved pussy. For me.
At 98?
Yep. It was
very progressive.
It was too cool for school. And I hammered away. I didn't know what I was doing, obviously.
I was at a house party and I was pulled into a room and thought I was going to get to make out with a girl. She had other plans for fucking Mr. Mudhelmet. And she forced my shaking, nervous cock and fed it into her. I almost, from the panic of it, I almost threw up over her shoulder and started crying. It's like the first time you shoot heroin between your toes. You just feel alive. But I don't think it went very well.
Did you use a condom?
On both feet so I couldn't slip in her tears. No, yeah. Yeah. I think that was the first time I had a condom on.
Yeah.
And the last, now that I think of it. I can't get rid of this cough.
Probably maybe try Magnums.
Magnums.
Yeah, they talk a lot of hot shit, but seriously, the average condom is built for a different continent.
Yeah, it's true. The sizing's different.
So to speak, right? Because, it's just like the plug-in adapters on the walls are different in Australia.
I like to shit into them, freeze them, and then sell them out to blind kids as shildos. The frozen shit dildos. And then I log father them. Are you on Snapchat?
I am. That's where I do a good amount of sexting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I shit into my camera.
Yeah.
And people block me. Am I doing this internet thing wrong?
No, you're not. You're actually you're doing what the internet was built for, was to expand people's minds and
blow their minds with
and teach people.
Blown out asshole with just mud belts. Oh, it's like pulling a chain out of a mud puddle, but like the mud puddle is me.
You were a true wordsmith.
No, I know like 6 words, but I just shuffle them very well.
Yeah, very well.
My thesaurus is only 6 pages. The rest
That's really all you need. But that's the beauty of the English language. Is it's the best. I don't care what language you're speaking. It's nowhere near as expressive as English is. And that's not racist. That's just science.
English is most expressive. Isn't French kind of romantically expressive?
They have a lot of convoluted words that mean different things. Like I heard a couple guys talking. It's like, yeah, last night I got into a surrender, and I didn't know what they're talking about.
A surrender.
Yeah,
Is that means that one of the guys?
it wasn't French Canadians. It was Parisian Frenchies.
What's Parisian French?
Big difference. Those are European French.
Okay, because I had a
Yeah.
run-in with a Haitian cop in Montreal a couple of years ago. He was a cunt.
Oh,
Which one wasn't? And Hunter Collins with me. He speaks perfect French, and he continued to argue with me in French and wanted to take me to jail
oh.
because I stepped off a curb at a crosswalk. And I said, what he didn't know,
Jaywalking.
what he didn't know is I had nothing but time. And I was like, let's do this, man. He could not handle it. And being on a public street, he couldn't beat me. So I just continued to infuriate him and make him crazier. And Hunter's like, I think he wants you to apologize. And I go, I know.
I surrender.
I surrender.
That's
I saw a good band called Revenger a couple nights ago at Distortion. Like 80s.
yeah. I saw.
Thrash metal. A little
I saw.
thing of that.
Yeah, I saw some clips. It was nice. Looked like.
Did you go to many rock shows? We were talking earlier about how you really don't go, and I was thinking about that. You're kind of like the Kevin Bacon, the Calgary.
How so?
Like a
No, that's a bad thing, but
like a Footloosey. It's kind of reversed in a way. Everybody in the city is the cop from Footloose, right?
Yeah, there's just a thing with doing a lot of shows now and getting my
Face out there.
and my stage time and stuff like that.
This is your prostitute and an actor.
Yeah, comedian, actor, prostitute. I work in the world's oldest profession.
Like Midnight Cowboy.
You goddamn right. Yeah.
You know, I only saw that movie maybe 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
John Schlesinger, 1969 Academy Award, Best Picture.
Uh-huh.
And you just saw it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was way ahead of its time.
But these iconic films that keep coming up over in my life that people bring up and directors and stuff, I like to kind of fumble onto them and go, when I do get a chance to commit and really sit and watch it.
Yeah.
And it's to see New York City like that. Wow.
Nitty gritty, man.
What
And
year is that?
1969.
It looked like District 9.
Yeah.
It looked dirty and
It
scary.
really was.
What year? 69?
69.
Can you imagine living in New York in 1969?
No.
What year would have... Oh, 70?
It was. It didn't get cleaned up until the 80s, until Donald Trump
90s.
started buying up all that real estate.
Yeah.
And Rudy Giuliani became mayor, and it was the broken windows. Fix the broken windows, and the crime goes away. That was the stance they took, and
And it worked?
cleaned it up.
Yeah, something about broken windows really bring down property value.
It does. Broken glass is a nasty noise, and when you see it, it's just a warning
Anything that
sign.
hurts babies.
Yeah.
No one likes anything that hurts babies. Babies don't know anything better about broken glass, but drunks do.
That's right, and they ought to know. A good rule for life is if it leaves a mark, don't do it.
I knew a stripper that had a tattoo of that over her cunt. And then she put out a cigarette butt in her forehead.
Oh wow, that'll leave a mark.
You don't have children.
None currently being taxpayers.
Did you have an abortion? I've had an abortion.
I didn't have the abortion.
Oh. Who had the abortion?
Plural.
Multiple
Yeah.
murders? Double homicide? Two
Yeah,
bullets
man.
through the uterus.
I knew when I was born that I'd kill somebody someday. I knew it.
Thank you.
I knew it.
My family was murdered by the physician that brought me into the world. No, I didn't. I'm joking.
Technically, that's what happens, right? You get the family doctor misdiagnose, brings you into this world, and and takes you out.
I think they should be responsible. These doctors.
That's how it works in China. You pay the doctor for when you're healthy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As opposed to paying when you're sick. Because if he's doing a good job, then you're healthy, right? So
he's got a salary.
Yeah.
So when you get somebody that's really fucked up, he can.
Yeah.
Give him some
And that's why
ground up reindeer dicks or something.
Yeah, some powdered rhino horns.
It's interesting, right?
All for the boner juice over there. And it's all dudes over. It's all dudes over in China now.
Yeah,
like
I heard
women
they have
are
a problem getting married and.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have to be.
You were married for 7 years. You said
8.
8 years.
8 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lifetime ago. I still have dreams where I wake up and I think I'm married. There we go. We're a little blacked out from the sun there.
Yeah, I thought it'd be neat. But yeah. So you're here in this place is weird.
Yeah.
I've been going out a little bit, and everybody looks like they have a severe drug and alcohol problem.
Well, if they're doing it right, then it's most likely alcohol. That's the
Big one, right?
That's the drug of choice. Yeah.
Booze. The drunk tanks here must be hilarious. The beatings.
Yeah. They
You get a bunch of jacked up farm boys from some of the suburbs. They come in here, they kick the fuck out of everybody, throw them in jail, and then the criminals beat the shit out of them.
Yep. It's the old downtown Calgary drunk tank doesn't exist anymore because they moved the district office. But it used to be a 3-cell setup, and so you had like your harmless guys, your violent guys, and then like the guy that was Mr. Positive, so to speak. Keep him segregated from the pack.
Oh, a carrier.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to keep the AIDS guy away from. He gets his own place.
Yep. Which is discrimination.
And no one argues it.
Discrimination.
There's never like, oh, come on, he can stay with us.
Yeah, you can pee into the little drain. That's all they had was a little drain in the middle of the room that you had to
Oh, did you get thrown in the
piss
drunk tank?
Piss and vomit. You know what? I got to go on a ride along with my dad.
Your dad's a cop?
Retired, but he wanted to show his son what his job was.
How he fucks hookers with a gun.
It was a nightstick. All right. You got to be safe. But
Dad fucked hookers with a nightstick?
he took me out on a Saturday night Stampede week.
Man.
So that and he worked.
First of all, explain to people what Stampede is.
Stampede is our debauched festival for 10 days during the summer. It's a world-class rodeo. The biggest prize is of them all. And
His biggest cash prizes here?
yeah, it's numero uno in the world.
Wow. Chuck wagon races.
Yeah, chuck wagon races, the rodeo,
Chuck
and then
wagon races. We both said that with a straight face. Who goes to a chuck wagon race that doesn't fuck their kids?
you bet on that shit too.
What does a chuck wagon race smell like? Just from the stands when the wind changes direction.
It smells like dead horses.
Really? Do they shoot the losers?
Yeah.
Really?
I've seen multiple wrecks on the track, and they'll put up like a nice privacy blanket and then plug them.
No way.
Plug them right on the track. Yeah.
Whoa.
Drag his
From
ass away.
breaking a leg or whatever?
Yeah. For pussing out.
That's weird, man.
Yeah.
That you have to shoot that giant dog like that in front of a bunch of kids eating cotton candy. Welcome to the real world.
Exactly. It's the Stampede.
Isn't there some sort of
Out of the
military
way.
training where you have to carry a puppy with you during your training, and at the end you got to kill it? And then you get a badge, a puppy badge.
Yeah, those are those
Boy
English
Scouts.
English secret agents.
Service?
Yeah, just to show them that they got the stones to actually do
Kill a
it.
puppy.
Depends what kind of puppy, I guess.
Anything that's can't get any bigger than a cat has got to go.
Yeah.
It's probably very unpopular. I'm not a cat or a little dog. The little ones always bite because they're used to people are trying to kick them up the ass and shit. You have cats?
What a horrible. No, I
You're a grown man. That's why.
yeah. I have friends that say you should get a cat, and it's like that little.
I got a neighbor that shits in a box in my house. Why would I have a cat do it?
Also, I could not take the walking on the countertops when I'm not around,
Not to mention,
and just going.
it's shit foot.
Yeah.
Shit foot.
In a box.
Shit in a box. There's old shit. And there's supposed to be some parasites that cats' feces carry that makes you aggro.
Big time. Big time. Well, we all saw Train Spotting. We saw how Tommy wound up.
How did he wind up?
He bought a kitten for his girlfriend, and then she wouldn't take it, and then it crapped all over his apartment, and he died of toxic plasmosis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Horrible way to die.
Yeah, there's a lot of feces in it. So, yeah, from
Yeah.
cat shit in the house, right?
Yeah. And it's just, I don't care if the Egyptians did it. I'm not down. Egyptians did a lot of things.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Where are they now? No more pyramids. Right?
Nope. Well, they're discovering old ones.
Do you ever shit in a litter box? Make it look like a pyramid?
That's the old George Clooney.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. That's one of his favorite jokes is when he goes to your house and if there's a litter box. As far as Entertainment Tonight told me in the 90s.
I've done that
I believe it.
in the 90s.
Probably last week.
93.
Nice. That's a great one.
We used to party a little bit at this house, and that was the go-to thing is I'd find out as soon as I saw a cat, my friends would just start laughing. And they'd, what are you guys laughing at? And they'd be like, hey, what's your cat's name? Cat where? And they would know by the end of the night there was going to be the brown beehive of, and then you hear, oh my God! And then, because I'd never leave toilet paper there, so it looked legit, kind of like a larger dog broken. And hung, and it would pile up, but I'd do it so it was hanging over the box a little bit, like the dog was in a rush.
Little Dairy Queen swirl.
Yeah. It was well planned. I put it in the corner like it was the cat was embarrassed of it because it was so huge. And then I put a condom over a hot dog in the litter box with the large dump with a sign on a napkin that said, sorry about the mess. Please tell me you still love me.
Wow. You best be getting paid for comedy because that's sheer genius.
That was my go-to thing.
It's classic.
As you've seen, I shit everywhere.
Yeah, well, it's a bodily function. Everybody does it.
In bathtubs?
Well, there's Jason Rouse and Andre the Giant because he couldn't fit on the toilets.
Yeah.
So in Japan, he just take a dump in the tub, and then have one of them young boys old waffle iron it down.
Oh, God, can you imagine?
Train.
He's got a snow shovel over his head, pickaxing this fucking densely Andre the Giant log. Because you're figuring...
I drank 108 beers and 2 roasts.
Yeah. Wow. 2 roasts and 108 beers.
Yeah.
But the stool, like a wine barrel.
That's why he's the 8th wonder of the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Andre the Giant. What was that movie he was in? Where he,
The Princess Bride.
no, the one where he shot his wife. He threw her into a grinder or something.
Andre?
No, I'm thinking of a different movie. I think it was one I made 2 weeks ago.
Nice. This sounds like a good movie.
You've done some movies, right?
Yeah, nothing that's ever
stunt work or anything?
ever made it to theater.
Yeah. Some independent stuff.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
fucking
definitely.
assholes. Can you wait?
Hey, steal the car already.
What a fucking asshole. I lived in New York, and that's all you hear day and night.
Yeah.
It's just horn. I couldn't handle it.
That's part of the driving there is because they 3 cars down, they start honking for 3 cars ahead, just like hustle it along, hustle it along.
Yeah. They had,
Maddening.
it's more of a like a sonar from a bat.
Yeah.
They're just kind of putting this out there, but I don't want to hear their signals.
No, that's noise pollution. They should be doing something about that.
So you've been doing comedy here in Canada and mainly on the West Coast.
Yeah, I haven't made it past Saskatchewan.
Saskatoon.
Yeah.
That's about as deep as it. That's pretty much
Prince Albert.
center of the country.
Yeah. The breadbasket of Canada.
Is that what it is? I grew up in the green belt of Ontario.
Yeah, you guys are rich in minerals, and you guys got a lot of wood and water.
Yeah. Lake Ontario is a disaster.
Gross.
I used to swim in that, and then I got a really bad ear infection.
Yeah, I can only imagine how many generations of sewage have been dumped in
Hamiltonian
that.
sewage? It's mostly condoms with shit and blood.
Yeah, rubberfish. Classic.
You'd see like somebody off the boat from somewhere fishing out of there, smelt fishing all day. Baskets of mercury.
What's the fish eating?
Mercury. The fish were glowing under the water. It's a highly toxic. It's the largest freshwater lake in the world,
Yeah.
and it's horseshit. It's poisoned.
It was the largest freshwater lake in the
It's
world.
not anymore.
No, it can't be. If you can't go up to the sides and drink the water.
It's not freshwater.
Yeah.
Freshwater meaning the water comes up through the ground.
Is that the science?
That's the science end of it. The word fresh doesn't mean that you can just drink off the river.
Well, you're supposed to be drinking from a running river.
Yeah. So you can get all the scum off the top and go right.
Exactly. As long as there's vegetation growing by the side of the river, then you're.
Where I was
good.
there was a creek, a spawning creek that ran through Stony Creek, Ontario, and the salmon would come through there, and we'd pick up the salmons, and there was this kid in our neighborhood that would bend the salmon, arch its back, and squirt salmon cum into his own face, and row eggs all over him. He hung himself in front of his parents on Christmas morning. They'd come down, and he'd hung himself in the living room.
Wow.
But he would pound salmon cum, spray it all over his face. It was terrible.
You know what? That's a shame because it's just a story. It wasn't like they were videotaping it. Mm-mm. You know,
That's
a shame you could easily live down.
Well, if it's rumored, but if it's on America's Funniest Home Video,
You're finished.
and you got 10 grand,
You're finished.
You're that guy. It's salmon cum chug.
It's like Russian caviar.
Right from the tap. Oh, and the salmon would be like on the end of their spawning, so their faces would be decomposing and all red. So whatever was in them was turning
Yeah.
like
Oh man,
like bubble tea.
that poor kid. He probably caught a parasite or something.
Jesus. Yeah, and drove him crazy.
Yeah. And see, when we were growing up, that was the thing. That was how you got street credibility. Was
Drinking salmon jizz.
if you had to do what it took to elevate yourself from the rest of the crowd.
Separate
right?
yourself from the crowd.
And it couldn't
Guy
be.
chugs fish cum.
No way, dude. Yeah, let's go down to the river. He's doing the supper show.
He's got a whole shift. There's a guy with a velvet rope at the top of the riverbed. Table for two, not near the front. My wife's got a dark shirt on.
Word of mouth is how you had to do that. And not only did your feet have to be phenomenal,
Yeah.
it had to live on through word of mouth where other people of note would tell it and be enough that you believed it. Like,
You had to be good storytellers too.
yeah. And the story had to travel. So
Was there any rumored stories in high school? Was there somebody that stuck out? You know the girl with the hot dog on her pussy?
yeah.
Did you have a hot dog pussy girl story?
We had the tuna girl. Guy ate a can of tuna out of her pussy. So yeah.
Why would you double park like that?
I know, right? Sexual education didn't teach us jack shit.
I had to learn on the streets.
Yeah.
I worked as a prostitute.
The mean streets. It's a stiff learning curve, but you learn quick.
Well, now,
Sink or swim.
everybody's watching everything on the internet. There's instructional videos on how to eat pussy now. I did it the old-fashioned way. I just did it with my dick.
I did it the real old-fashioned way with a knife and a fork.
Ah, with one of those red and white tablecloths.
Mark of the beast. You goddamn right.
But, so you get rid of your wife.
Mm-hmm.
What was the breaking point?
The breaking point. You know what? It's on video.
It is the breaking point.
Yeah, I was making a movie.
Oh no!
It's called Pierre Poisset and the Fountain of Jankum. You can look it up on YouTube. It's been out there since 2008. I made it, and it was. Are you familiar with Jankum?
No.
Jankum is a drug that's it originated in Africa, and what it is
Like
you
buttons?
no you put shit and piss like raw sewage in a bottle, let it ferment, and then the gas fills a balloon, and then you huff the balloon, and it's like
did Vice do something on that? A version of that? I don't
you know what? It was probably like this Tide Pod bullshit, but it was the late 2000s. Like I made the movie in 2008, and I played both parts. There's a character Pierre, and he's trying to get a stool sample to his parole officer, and the turd burglar keeps robbing him of his turds.
Oh. And he just doesn't eat to make any more shit.
Well, he's eating everything he can to make more shit, but he can't. Like he wakes up in the morning from his hangover and he can't
Someone's
do it.
run off with his shit.
The turd burglar stole his shit and is making it into the hallucinogenic super drug Jankum, the recreational drug choice.
Do they trip out on this thing?
Yeah, you're supposed to, but really, who has the patience? Just huff some gas.
Yeah. There was a thing when I was in Africa. They had this thing called buttons. They'd take a Coke bottle neck with some steel wool in it,
Mm-hmm.
and then put a bit of marijuana and Amrex pills, and then they'd smoke it. They call it buttons.
What is an Emmerich pill? Is it like Tylenol in Africa?
Something like that. It looked like it was a white pill.
Something that you could get at a drugstore?
Yeah, I think it was relatively over the counter. I'm not sure, but it became very popular, and the side effects were really bad. Like anytime you're smoking pills.
Yeah, it's got to be rough on the old lungs.
Smoking pills.
Through
People do
African
that.
steel wool, too?
Yeah. Steel wool in a broken Coke bottle neck with marijuana and this button or the pill on top. Amrex.
I'm with Nancy Reagan on that. Just say no. Just say no.
Is she still alive?
No, she's not.
You could eat her out, though.
Be a lot of work.
Do you think you could make Nancy Reagan come?
Yes. Bedtime for Bonzo.
What?
Coming at you.
What about Rosie O'Donnell? No, she's too bitter to get through it.
You know what? She wouldn't play ball. She wouldn't play ball. Like,
No.
It's a lost cause. I don't give up easy, and that was
Yeah.
yeah. I'm waving the white flag.
What about Ellen?
You goddamn right. Have you seen her legs?
Yeah.
I remember when she came out and she was doing like kind of a BDSM photo shoot.
Ooh.
Yeah, and she works out.
Yeah. She's got that Madonna.
You never see her showing skin, but if you saw Ellen DeGeneres on Holiday, she's nice.
She's all cut up.
Hard body. Oh yeah.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah. Well, the picture I remember seeing
Like
was back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
She had that same haircut in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's a classic. Ellen from the 90s.
She's
one of the people who had that haircut.
a pioneer. Remember when that was a big deal? Her coming out as gay. Did you
Yeah.
watch television
Yes.
back then?
Yeah.
I watched up to probably the mid 2000s. I'd watch TV, and then I could not take it anymore.
Late 90s for me.
Yeah. Well, you were making TV. I remember watching you on television.
Crime Watch.
Yeah, much music, and
Yeah.
you. I don't know what it was, but you wearing a suit, going around with like a kind of a mohawk. You were. Yeah, it was.
It was very small potatoes.
You're funny, but you weren't funny like you are now. You were like CBC clean funny.
Yeah. That's what, this is,
That's the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
I looked at, okay, I'm going to have to roll this back a little bit just to get them to, it took me a while. It took me a while to, break through because I was still on the edge of it. So the cycle would skip me a couple years when people that I started with or something like that were getting opportunities, and I would be passed on, but I kept showing up. So they couldn't ignore me, and then, I'd win an award or something like that.
Was that your 2001 Gemini?
Mm-hmm. And
Do you still have that?
I give it to my mother.
Nice.
Yeah. It's all pitted and... No, but that helped me get a green card.
Nice.
So...
Yeah, because you're, was it Comedy Now special?
Mm-hmm. It was in 2000. And that's when my career peaked. By 2001, I was finished in Canada.
Yeah.
It was...
Nowhere left to go?
No, the Comedy Network and I had some meetings. They offered me a series, and the more I saw what was going on, the more the relationship kind of dissipated.
What were some of the pitch ideas like?
Well, Eric Andre's show.
Yeah.
Similar to that, but more of a Hugh Hefner end of things. So it was a comedy variety show. It had roots in a kind of Saturday morning kid show. It was for late night. People coming home fucked up at 3 a.m. They would see music, comedy, and sketches and puppets and things like that.
Missed opportunity.
Just
For them. For them.
Yeah. It would have been way more aggressive. And, but yes.
Yeah, standards and practices would be all over this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have anybody breathing down my neck while I'm trying to do, and then they would just take the spine out of the whole thing, and it would, I'd fold in on myself.
Did you take drama in high school?
I did, but I got kicked out.
No doubt.
Because I took control over every classroom.
Yeah, and you'd always try and find the limit, right?
Yeah.
Of any scene.
I had a teacher.
Anything you can do.
Yeah, I was terrible. And when I said that, like, I went to this school that was all dudes. It was a fucking nightmare. And then...
for you.
Yeah. And so they offered some programs in the sister school to us, Scott Park, which is a parking lot now by the Tim Hortons Stadium.
Yeah.
You follow CFL? I don't.
No, I'll watch the Grey Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they, what was I talking about?
High school drama.
High school drama. So they offered us a drama program in a school across the street. And I was so, just wanted to get out of that environment, the drama. Yeah. So all we did is terrorize the teacher. We did very little scene study. She'd cried, multiple times. And she'd screech my name, Jason, stop fucking around. Yeah. So, and we do this thing called lights out. When she'd leave the room, I think she would have to take breathers in the hallway and then come back and deal with us. Because the class was all the assholes that we were in school with there, they just put us in this different room with a teacher who had unknowingly 20 animals.
Animal Factory.
Animal Factory. And she was a nice lady, but I think she was going through something, and I was just wanted to go through everything.
Yep.
So we do lights out, lights on, which was she would go out and have a nervous cigarette or something, and we would throw furniture through the air, but someone would turn the lights on and off, and then you'd just hear people screaming, and then the lights would come on, and then there'd be a chair on some kid's neck. Lights on, help me. They start crawling towards the door.
And then lights off.
Lights off. And chairs would just be flying, and she'd come back, and there's furniture.
Yeah.
And piles. What the hell's going on? Lights off. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. That was funny. Yeah, I think we did one with her in the room.
Oh, wow. She got to experience it.
Oh, the teachers, we had no outlet. I had, a situation where you're a failure, statistically. So you've got your puberty and the worst role models.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Trying to outdo each other too, right?
Most definitely, and not even having like a lot of single parent kids too. So they had either left with the shittiest parent, and were just crazy, angry children.
Yeah, and Canada Young Offenders Act,
is it pretty lax?
Yeah, you can up to 17, you can kill somebody and then have it wiped from your record and be traveling down south.
Wow, but if you get a DUI in the United States, you can't come into Canada.
You're done.
But if you're a teenager with a Canadian passport,
if you're 13 years old and you murder your family.
Yeah, I know a guy who killed his parents.
Yeah, there's a young lady in Lethbridge, a town 2 hours south of Calgary. She was 13, had her 18-year-old boyfriend murder her mother, father, and younger brother. She helped him.
18-year-old girl?
13-year-old girl.
13-year-old girl.
13-year-old girl. And she's at the U of C under a different name, getting a paid education by the government. Yeah.
How old was her boyfriend?
He was like 18. You can look up his last name was
him or poison
last
him?
name was Stinky. I think he stabbed him.
That's pretty heavy.
That's messy work too. I don't have to tell you how much work a knife is.
I know. And especially with those young man wrists.
Yeah.
But at least you don't have worry about getting shot. People don't get shot here.
Yeah, they do.
With hunting rifles, maybe.
No, we had some gang wars going on back in late 2000s. Like four people killed at a restaurant through guns. Uh-huh. Criminals don't care about handguns, right? Like when you're making your life on the line, moving that weight, you have to it's part of the trade.
Totally.
You have to have it, and so they're gonna get it.
Yeah.
No matter what, you cannot.
Yeah, it's part of the lifestyle. It's what they signed up for. You can't get angry about being shot.
Yeah. And
have you ever been shot at? Besides, have you ever been shot on?
I got shot in the back of the head at a theater one time. There's been reckless gunplay.
Yeah.
Let's say that, hanging out with farm boys and, at that age where we're starting to drink some beers, smoke some weed.
Yeah.
Horse shit. And, getting a little fresh. People shooting guns in houses.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. They were living in, trailers.
Yeah.
And then, walking out of the hallway as some guy's shooting down the hallway with a rifle. Mm-hmm. Putting a hole right through the fucking trailer.
I heard a story of a guy who was climbing a farmer's fence and the trigger hooked on and he blew his son's head off on a hunting trip.
Oh, yeah. It happens all the time. That's why
Really?
you take there's a protocol for when you got to climb a fence, you take your gun, put it through the fence, step over. You don't hold on to your gun while you're going over.
Yeah.
That's what they teach you in these mandated
workshops.
Canadian, for your firearms license.
Mm-hmm. Do you have firearm license?
I don't have these guns licensed,
but they are firearms.
Sure. Yeah, I don't want to say anything that'll incriminate me, but I know my way around.
Yeah. I was never
Around
exposed to
some
that.
hardware.
I've always, now that I live in the States, I feel like I should at least to go down. I heard a lot of people kill themselves on gun ranges.
Yeah, well,
They get the
it's-
license and then shoot themselves,
works. It's a good place.
right?
Yeah.
You go in, you don't have to buy the gun,
Nope.
and you just do it. That's a weird place to be as a trained professional in a shooting range, and then some kids come there is like a bridge to jump off of.
Yeah.
A little unnerving when you're trying to shoot a paper
I just
target.
look at every customer like, this is like the last time I'm ever gonna sign your credit card. Safe journeys. That's what I'd say to everybody that went in if I worked at the shooting range. I've been to the shooting range in Calgary. It's fun, but you're on a watch list for the rest of your life the minute you walk through there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, forever.
That's how I
because
feel about marijuana cards.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
People sign up for all these things. It's too easy peasy.
Yeah, and with the data collection that's going on, it's an unmitigated vortex of suction where it's not about let's take this, and this. It's like let's take it all and then pick through what we want, what we need.
How can we manipulate this to our benefit?
That's why I watch an incredible amount of zoophile porn just to throw off the algorithm.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like watching this, but I just don't want Google. I get a lot of advertisements for petting zoos,
Yeah.
stuff like that at the
Heavy petting
UFC.
zoos.
Oh yeah, which is legal in Canada, by the way. It's been officially legalized.
Petting zoos?
Yeah, yeah. You can eat that sheep out or let that sheep suck you off till the cows come home, just as long as you don't fuck it.
No. Because in Denmark, bestiality was legal.
Yeah.
Do they have sex farms here?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You got dog fighting is a huge. I shouldn't be saying anything about this, but
Dog fighting?
dog fighting is a huge thing out in the boonies.
Oh, yeah.
Big
That's just
money.
trash.
Yeah, it is, but it's money and power
Yeah,
and fury.
it's owning something. These people that hurt dogs are bad.
Yeah, a lot of people, his dogs get robbed because they just turn them into tackling dummies for these fighters, right? So that's why you watch your dog out here.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean the fighters? Oh.
Yeah, for the
they
for the
just feed 'em
farm.
to the
yeah.
Fuck.
Take this off, right? So you get the nice. Yeah, it's insidious shit, and you know what? There's not a word about this in the newspapers out here or on the media because it's too much. It's too real.
Yeah, that's a strange hobby. Is dog fighting.
Yeah,
I have friends,
cockfighting?
including myself. Cockfighting, I get it. Those roosters, man. You ever look one in the eye? You see
Beauty.
the devil.
Yeah.
No, but I love the rooster's confidence.
Yeah. Cock of the walk. Baby.
Roosters.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
What's not to love about a rooster?
It's the strut. They got good feathers. They look cool.
Fucking kill you.
And the thing is, if anything else was named cock, it'd be like a shitty animal.
Yeah.
But a rooster would be like, it gets aggressive immediately.
Yeah.
There's no like, hey,
Furls up. Yeah, and the way those legs fucking
yeah, the scissors
slash you.
Yeah. They got the spurs.
There are people that die handling those things. The guy, yeah, you get the ref or whoever's the
They
the
blade
guy.
up their ankles. They put little.
Yeah,
razors.
and yeah, these guys get nicked. All it takes is hitting that artery, and you bleed out. And
Can you imagine you
30
got
seconds.
killed by a cock?
Killed by a cock.
Everyone's laughing at your funeral. Did you hear about
not out loud, but
Diablo Gringo, that angry rooster, the albino one with the red pink eye, killed Carlos 2 weeks ago behind the barn.
and can you believe he showed up to his funeral? The
Yeah,
nerve
the Edgar
of
Winter.
that fucking cock.
He's a cock. Look at that cock. The rooster, an albino rooster with one eye patch and razor spurs, but his feet and his beak and all the fleshy stuff is bright pink, and he's got pure white feathers, and he's a rooster with, you know those two twins from the Matrix movies?
Yeah.
Two roosters like that.
I would not say shit.
No, keep walking.
Yeah.
Because the white ones have magic powers too.
Yeah, well, black magic chickens, right?
Oh, yeah, all the voodoo stuff.
The world goes round.
Serpent Under the Rainbow. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Have you never seen Serpent Under the Rainbow?
No, I'll put that, I'll write that down in the...
Wow. It's in Haiti. It's a lot of voodoo stuff. Serpent Under the Rainbow. Solace. 1,000 Days of Hell. What else?
Are these good date movies?
I don't know what a date movie is. You know, I had a complaint about the show last night. Somebody said I ruined his date.
How?
I don't know. Did you watch this show?
I watched the whole show.
I'm not a date show guy.
You are to a certain extent because there was a lot of people.
deviants.
Yeah, there was a lot of people holding on to each other.
I think the deviant people will come out to watch to make themselves feel better about what they're really doing in private.
Yeah, because you always want to. That's the hard thing about the criminal lifestyle is you always want to. You know, when it's a job well done, you want to talk about it or your hobbies or whatever. But when it's not part of the normal run of things, you're kind of, like living within yourself, and it's torture.
Yeah, it's totally torture.
It's torture. You got to let that.
It's hard to live with yourself sometimes. And then try and get into a relationship when you can't live with yourself.
Yeah. Well, and how does one live with oneself anyway? Like, I don't even live up to my own standards.
Yeah.
How could I expect anybody
But
else
at least
to?
because you're aware of what your standards are, when you fall short of them, that you feel some sort of conscience. And you got to step it up.
Yeah. I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to that, though, because
You don't want to step it up?
Well, I do, but it's there's the three Sams. There's today Sam, tomorrow Sam, and yesterday Sam. And for anything to move forward in my life, two of them guys got to get together to manage a situation.
Yeah.
Right? So it's tomorrow Sam is the guy you do not want to piss off because he's the one that has to deal with today's Sam's bullshit and yesterday's.
Job foreman.
Yeah. Yeah, a hard ass, right?
Has that guy ever thrown a hammer at a coworker?
He's buried the claw many a time. And that's the thing too, is you can't be too hard on yourself. You do have to love yourself, and you do have to say sometimes like,
this is out of my hands.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to let this one slide.
Yeah, and cut your losses and just
move on.
Start and every
People like
day
to think
is
they're
a
so
blessing.
special. Oh, totally. The doorman at the Comedy Store in London told me after I asked him how he was doing, he said, every day above ground is a good day.
Yeah. And it's the truth.
Yeah, it's a
right?
gift. This is all, and you've lived enough to know that this experience is very short.
Very fickle. I know moments notice I could have my legs cut out from under me. And you talk about your Snapchat shit session, but that is like it's a beautiful thing because that's like you're getting the works going, out with the bad, in with the good, starting the day.
Yep.
And it's
I
essential.
just wrote that on my Instagram. What goes in must come out.
Yeah, and it's that's a rule that applies to everybody on the planet, no matter how rich or how poor. And it's a necessary function.
Yeah.
And when you can't physically get up to take a shit anymore, that's when your days are done. You're finished.
And it sounds crass and gross, but when you can't get up to have a shit, sometimes it's not to do with old age or anything. It's your poison has anchored you into a chair.
Yeah.
And you need to take that shit, but some people can't take a shit.
Yeah, or like if you're in a third world country and you can't get to the ditch from the hut because you're too weak, right? Or there's too many obstacles.
Yeah, from sitting around or not taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
So you just lay there in your own shit, and then no one comes over to your house anymore because you're shit.
The shit, yeah. the shit taco. Wrap him up in a shit taco and get him out of here, right?
This guy's shit.
Get your shit together.
Right?
But
get the shit together. Like,
we've really come full circle. We started
all the
with
things that are shit.
Started with a scat movie.
Identify them.
Yeah.
Get them together and start cutting some shit. Because there's always going to be shit.
Exactly. And the greater you are in society, the less shit is associated with your name. But the reality is this ain't Kim Jong-un not taking a dump. Because that's what they believe over there.
Yeah.
They believe that he doesn't take a shit.
Yeah. Mass hypnosis.
Yeah. Cult of personality. I salute you. I think it's an amazing
feat.
Yeah.
To have that much control.
Cult of personality.
Subservient.
Yeah. And have people believe that we all take
fear.
shits, but this guy doesn't, because that would be gross.
What do they call it? Angelic, godlike. It's the same thing with Jesus. People that get to come back from the dead.
A deity?
Yeah, deity. But if you had an option, clearly no one comes back from the dead. But if you were given an option and you were in utopia in this state and you had an option to go back and you had to pick a time, a place, and an age on this planet, where are you going, Michael J. Fox, with 10,000 gigawatts?
That's a deep question. I'd say...
you got 12 months. Any age between what's now and your birth. Anywhere in the world.
Oh, it would have easy. This is an easy one. I'd go see Hologram Tupac at Coachella.
just for the merch.
Do you see his abs? He's really been working out.
Yeah, they're trying to do that with a bunch of people all up in arms about it, but that's what people take prime rib and make it into bologna. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
human nature to continually exploit all this shit.
Well,
that we've held so dear. Nothing's sacred.
No,
in comedy or life, and that's the thing.
Well, and that's the other part that's very interesting being a comedian these days in these trying times, because they're trying to be thought police. Like, they're trying to get it so that you're like self-censoring. It's not them censoring you, it's your peers amongst you. And there is not one word in the human language that is off limits that you cannot say. Mm-hmm. And once you take away one, then you got to start making a list. Well, okay, we'll have a top 10 list. But then that's it. Oh, well, you know what? This one's pretty bad. Top 15. And then it's 100. And then it's...
I know. Isn't it weird that this has all been addressed? And, like, Lenny Bruce went to jail.
Yeah.
Now, I understand Canada, to my horror, doesn't have freedom of speech.
No. Nope. It's
Isn't that weird?
It's an illusion. It really is, but that's also part of the reason you should come see us at a show is because we could be getting arrested. We could be going to jail for...
Oh, the police have been to my shows.
For the words.
That's why I record everything.
Wow.
I've had the police show up and call me down to the front lobby of the hotel to question me about a complaint they had about death threats. And I get death threats, but no one... I don't cry to anybody.
Wow.
But it's cool. I like the attention. I end up dating some of these people.
You know what? It's probably a pretty
pass.
good pool to sort out of, right? These are highly motivated individuals. If you can get over
intelligent, usually.
Yeah.
And they're going to end me one day.
Wow.
Is it a double keychain?
Yeah. In the wintertime in Canada, I always keep my extra car key on me.
On the outside of your pockets?
These are khakis.
Okay.
I can't tuck it into the... I'm not wearing cool jeans today.
I got these at a Levi's discount store for like $7.
Nice. Acid wash. I like it.
Right?
Yeah.
And they fit, so I kept them.
Yeah.
Do you do jean shorts?
You goddamn right I do. And
like cut above the pocket?
Yeah, my pockets hang out the bottom. I also my favorite though is my favorite pair of khakis.
Pockets at the bottom. That's short, man.
Yeah,
That's a short.
I roll them up.
You roll them up
past the pockets.
past the pockets after they've been cut.
Yeah.
That's a G-string with pockets.
Yep. Yep.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, man. I've always, not always, but I quit wearing a bathing suit. Like, I see these guys. I go to Vancouver and I go down to the beach. I go to like Kitts Beach. It's like where the hot bodies go, just muscle it up. And all these guys are all wearing like these fucking board shorts past their knees. Huge, awesome physiques, but they're covering up. And the last time I wore one was in 2005, and I went swimming at a buddy's place.
Beach shorts. Or surfboard shorts.
Yeah, like the baggy ones.
Yeah.
And I got out of the water, and it felt like wearing a diaper.
Yeah.
Like a wet diaper. Like, it's just gross.
Well, look at the Olympic swimmers. Everything's streamlined. So
It's
if
a
you do a
Speedo.
third of that,
Yeah.
you're still... Yeah, you don't want a wet sleeping bag tied around your waist when you're trying to swim with dolphins.
No, and you get like a rash and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So,
G-string.
pardon me. Well,
Just spray paint your cock and jump in the water.
family swim night, you know how it goes. But no, I started wearing Speedos back in 2006 and have not turned back because it's very comfortable. I work out, so it looks fucking good.
Yeah.
And
I've got no ass, so I can't do a Speedo. From the side...
you get a custom fit, right?
Well, we'll have to pad it. When I quit drinking, my body just purged all the beer thing. That actually gave me a bit of a
little bit of an ass.
a weight and some ass. Now I've got like antlers I hang pants off of now. It's fucking bad. But I got to do some stairs and lunges and shit. Get my shit locker all cinched up. Oh,
Yeah, and Rocky Mountain Barking Spider. Yeah, the Speedo dries out in like 3 minutes in the sun, and then you're good to go. It's awesome. And women always give the fellas a show when they're wearing their swimsuits. Why don't the guys do that?
Yeah.
Instead, it's like these big baggy jumbly.
yeah,
things.
but it's
Like,
hot girls. It's usually the gross guys in the Speedos, right? That's what it was associated. You're breaking stereotypes with swimming attire.
Yeah, I guess
the
we're
jacked up
talking
guy in the Speedo-
European. We're talking
Yeah.
European versus North America.
Sure.
North America's so prudish.
Oh,
like
not uptight. You saw the audience.
I did.
It was fun this weekend.
It was the highlight of my career thus far.
What were some of them? Because now were you here last time I was here? Have we crossed paths in a club before?
We did, but I was a fly on the wall. And you were headlining at Comedy Monday Night, Broken City. And I was
I'm not back. Oh no, yeah, Pete Zellacker's there tomorrow.
at
Blue Monday or Monday.
at Comedy Monday Night. Yeah,
Monday night, yeah.
Yeah.
But Broken City.
Yeah, that's where I saw you.
How did it go? Did I get booed?
Yeah, what happened was Nick Offerman was in town for
that gig.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Now
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, you were headlining, but he popped
And
in
his
for a
fucking
guest
friends
spot.
in the front.
They were having their fucking rap party at a comedy show.
Yeah.
Nick came out and did he did his guitar shtick.
Oh, they
but-
love him.
Yeah, but he was talking about like having a hanky wiping cum off his girl's face and stuff like that. Like it wasn't all sunshine and lollipops.
See, when I say it, I mean it.
Yeah.
And people don't want to hear the intention under the umbrella of a theatrical presentation, but I have to be committed to it. And people don't like that level of commitment.
No.
They'd rather have it a little kooky, a little goofy, and it becomes a little more digestible. But
Yeah, right off the top, I remember the front table, Nick Offerman's the crew were saying
from Fargo.
Nick Offerman didn't have to swear to be funny.
Yeah.
And then you just fucking I think you went into your mix and paint bit and just like poured it on hardcore. I was in the back. I was loving it because it was just such
You've got nobody doing that here.
No, and also that you were just like, yeah, and you were headlining and he did a half hour before you.
Yeah.
And so the show was really long kind of deal. So the audience was tired as
That's all the
is.
producers. They produce a bad show. And
Well-
suffer the consequences.
You can
Yeah,
the man that produces that show is absolutely meticulous, and it was just kind of one of those like Nick
Forget it.
Offerman happened to be there. It was the same show that Zach Galifianakis dropped in and did it, and James Moore, the producer of that show, made him show 3 pieces of ID to get on.
Made you show through?
No, it was Zach Galifianakis.
No.
Yeah, because he didn't believe him. Right, like some guy comes into your.
This is why we leave. This is why I sit on a beach in California, because people can't get their fucking shit together over here.
Well, a real live Hollywood movie star in Calgary. They
Doesn't
come
matter.
through.
Just
They
put
come
him on
through.
the show.
Well, he didn't know if it was him or not.
Doesn't matter. He's still got to do comedy. If he's fraudulent, it will be all exposed on stage.
Yeah.
But what do you got coming up besides Toronto in December?
I have the comedy roast battle
Cool.
at
Good way to
Yuck
get some
Yucks on the
street cred.
20th. You know what? It's not usually my style, but for one of these roast shows, I got to write 40 original roasts for all these fuckers. Because I only know who I'm going against in the very first round.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's 3 rounds to get to the top, and I don't know who I'm coming up with next. So you got to write for everybody.
Yeah.
And you got to have that bonus joke in case it goes to a tie, which my rounds usually go to a tie.
Yeah.
And so you got to always have something extra in the bag.
And
it's
good practice.
It is, and people are really really enjoying what I'm putting out there. Like just with my
Well, keep putting it out.
Yeah.
And where can people see your stuff? I know you've just
I'm fairly new.
introducing
I'm
yourself.
fairly new to social media, but I'm on all the platforms under Sam Walker Live, one word, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And after this weekend, doors are opening. Like this was a big deal, and this is top of my resume. Opening for Jason Rouse, because nobody else can hang with you, man. Like I've been hearing it for a few years now, is that you are the measuring stick. Whether it's high or low, it doesn't matter. It is setting the standard.
I've tried to set standards.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. It was a real pleasure.
Anything you'd like to plug or promote? Events coming up?
Just please follow me on the social media, because the bookers are looking for that kind of thing.
Yeah, clicks.
Yeah.
Likes. That's what people get booked.
Looking at, and I'm not gonna spam you with bullshit about what I had for lunch. It's business, and this isn't a gimmick. This isn't like
It's a lifestyle.
It is. It really is.
I get it. That's why you're here. I respect your level of commitment. And in the city, when we talked before, and you said I don't really go out and stuff, and that's why I made the Kevin Bacon Footloose thing, because it's not really a place that really will embrace it. But it's like pressure makes diamonds, right?
Yeah.
And this place is nothing but pressure if you're a comedian.
It is, right?
It's like musician, and everything else. But being a comedian in Canada and Alberta is very difficult.
Yeah, long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
Tell me about it. Great way to close out the show. Sam Walker, as in...
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Right.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway.